Okay, friends, starting off in a child's pose. Sit on your feet, big toes touching, and go ahead and walk your head and walk your hands all the way out away from your knees. And you want to allow that head to come down slowly, there's no rush. And take some time in your child's pose, just breathing into your low back in particular. Your hip creases, you might feel some release there as well. So give it some time. Big inhales, filling your lungs. And big exhales, pulling the lungs inward, pulling your rib cage inward to empty your lungs completely. Big breath in, slowing it down, deepening it with each round. And big exhales. Use your strong belly muscles here to push the air out. And keep that long, slow breath. Keep deepening it, lengthening it. And allow your body to soften a little more over time. This posture is one that we don't really have to do very much. But the longer you spend here, the more your body can naturally relax and release. Okay, all the places we get a bit stuck. Hips, low back, even your shoulders. You can walk your hands out a little further and get a nice release in your shoulders as your armpits open up toward the floor. All right, keep your nice long breath and continue to allow your body to be soft where you can, and start to walk your hands up by your knees here, walking them back over by your hips, and just grab onto your knees. Okay, I just want to move your spine a little bit here. So think like you're doing a cat-cow. Grab onto your knees. You might need to lean forward. And with your inhale, think of pulling back on your hands. Move that heart forward between your arms. And you might look up a little bit if that feels right, arching or extending your spine. With your exhales, do the opposite. Curl your tailbone underneath you and point it at your knees. And you'll feel your spine naturally round. Okay? And we'll do that a few more times. Inhale, pull the heart forward, arch. Think of pointing your tailbone back. And exhale, point your tailbone forward, round your spine. So keep going. And I like to do this kind of letting the tailbone lead. So let the tailbone point back and let the spine follow. And then curl the tailbone under and let your spine follow. So you can feel how your tailbone kind of dictates the posture that you have in your spine. Okay, allowing those spinal waves to just roll up and down. Maybe a few more just like that. Keep breathing. Maybe just one more. Just bringing a little movement into your back. Okay, settle into a more still, upright, neutral posture. And then if you are comfortable with this, you could tuck your toes underneath you here and sit on your heels. For some folks, that's unbearable. So don't feel like you have to force it if it's uncomfortable. But if you can stand it for a little while, sit on your heels. You might have to tuck your pinky toe under like me and start to warm up and open up your feet. Okay, and then go ahead and get your arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms up, and keep your neck nice and long by drawing your shoulders away from your ears. So your spine will naturally arch here, and you'll need to pull your belly button back a little bit to keep your low back kind of neutral, and point that tailbone a bit down and forward. And then you'll start to kick the floor away from you, lifting your hips just an inch off your feet. Hold here and breathe, warming your legs. Okay, feel how the hips are floating just off your feet. And if you need to untuck your toes at any time and just sit on your heels, of course you can. But we're just gonna let those quads wake up. Keep breathing. Kick the floor gently, hips are hovering, keep breathing. Whew, just warming up the quads for one more breath in. And then let it go on your exhale. You can drop your hands. Whew. Now I want to get a little bit more twisty. Now that we've opened up your quads here, let's get up more into your hip flexors and your chest. So you can keep your toes tucked for this, or you can untuck your toes and just sit on your heels, okay, depending on what's more comfortable for your feet. Go ahead and look over your right shoulder and drop your right fingers somewhere on the right. You decide where. It could be more to the side. It could be more behind you, but you're gonna lift your hips from here up off your feet and reach that left arm up to the ceiling. So you have a side bend along the left side, but you also have a nice front body opening along both sides. Now go ahead and drop your hips and switch sides. Coming through center, drop your left fingers either on the left or a little bit behind you to the left and lift your hips up. Get that right arm up. Big stretch. So we'll try to combine this with breathing, okay? So switching over to the right, inhale as you lift your hips, left arm up. And exhale to bring them down and switch sides. Inhale, lift your hips, right arm up. And exhale, come back through center. So I just want to go a few more times like this, side to side, okay? I think you get it. So remember, this can be much more of a back bendy feeling if you put those fingertips behind you. And it can be much more of a side bend feeling if you put the fingers beside you. So you are going to feel it out. Feel out what you want today. Maybe two more on each side, opening up the front body, big time, opening up your chest. Okay, next time you come up on one side, just whatever side you come up on, hold it right there and breathe. Big space into your chest, reach up with that top hand. Maybe one more breath here. And switch sides, come over to the other side and hold it right there. Big space. And then come on down out of that, back to center. All right, let's give your feet a break. Go ahead and walk your hands forward to hands and knees. Whew, you can untuck your toes. If you had them tucked all that time, maybe shake them out a little bit. And then tuck your toes one more time, lift your hips and your knees, and walk your hands back to your feet. We'll take a moment here just to hang and swing. You're gonna really generously bend your knees probably here so that you don't feel too tense in the backs of the legs. So feel free to bend them and sway. Hang your head, shake it out. So we'll just start to get a little bit warmer here, start to warm things up. Okay, go ahead and find stillness. And then with your inhale, push into your heels, roll yourself up. Take your time, make it slow. Lift your heart up top and look at your hands for a teeny tiny back bend. Exhale here, drop your hips down, pull your knees toward each other, okay, and keep that belly button in, a chair squat, Utkatasana. Inhale all the way up to standing, maybe a teeny back bend up here. And exhale here, hinging at your hips, fold yourself all the way down. On your inhale here, come halfway up, look forward. And with your exhale, bend those knees, hug your legs, and fold. All right, palms are down. Inhale here, walk your hands forward to a plank. And exhale, walk your feet all the way to your hands and fold. Take a moment just to hang and swing. Maybe grab your elbows this time. Swaying side to side, bending the knees. Maybe rocking your weight forward and back on your feet as well. Letting the legs wake up. All right, release your elbows. If you grabbed them, find stillness for a moment and we'll roll it up. Inhaling here, just like we did before. Lift up tall in your heart, maybe a teeny back bend. And exhale here, down into your chair squat. Drop your hips, pull your knees together and look up. Inhale all the way up to standing, heart up. And exhale, hinge your hips and fold it all the way down. On your inhale, just come halfway up, unroll your spine, look forward. You can bend your knees for that. And with your exhale, big fold, hug your legs. Palms are down here, inhale and step it back to your plank. And then exhale, walk your hands back to your feet. Again, fold and hang, just swing with soft knees. Maybe join your hands behind you here. You can move them away from your heart. Big stretch on the fronts of your shoulders. Sway side to side. Sway front to back. And then release your hands. If you join them, we'll roll it up one more time. Inhale here, push into your heels. Roll yourself up, big heart up. And then exhale, drop into your chair squat. Inhale up to standing. Exhale and fold. On your inhale, halfway up, look forward. On your exhale, big fold, hug your legs. Palms are down. Inhale here and walk your hands forward to find a momentary plank. Okay, and then exhale here, press your hips back. Find your downward facing dog and walk it out right here. Take some time here in down dog. So first down dog, we can keep the knees really bent. Okay, we'd like to prioritize a long spine and a long upper body. So if you feel your spine curling and rounding here, bend those knees, lengthen the spine, and start from there. Okay, you can always lengthen the legs later as they warm up. All right, so we're gonna play around a little bit with some side plank. And I want you to keep in mind that you can always drop your knees. So go ahead and shift your heart forward so your shoulders are over your wrists. And then drop onto the outer edge of your left foot and the inner edge of your right foot. We're gonna reach up with the right hand, taking a side plank. So pause here for a moment. Just want to remind you, you can drop the left knee to the floor and it's a lot easier and gentler, but you're still in the same place. So use that as a modification if you need to. Bring that right hand back to the floor, back on your toes, and press it back to a downward facing dog. Let's see if we can do that on the other side, okay? Shift your weight forward into a plank pose. Drop to the outer edge of the right foot, inner edge of the left, and we'll lift up the left arm. Left side, side plank. Possibility to drop the bottom knee to make it a little easier. And bring it back to the left hand down, downward facing dog. Let's see if we could flow a little bit like that. Inhale forward to your plank. Right side up, side plank. And exhale back to plank and downward facing dog. Keep going. Inhale to plank. Left side up, side plank. Exhale to plank and downward facing dog. Let's do that a few more times on each side, just flowing. Inhale to right side plank. You can reach that right arm overhead if you like. And exhale, downward facing dog. Getting your shoulders warm. Inhale, left side plank. Exhale, down dog. Let's do 2 more on each side. Inhale, right side. If you want a little extra challenge, you can lift the top leg. Okay, just playing around. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left side plank. Woo. Maybe lift that top leg if you want a little extra spice. And exhale, down dog. Okay, shoulders are getting nice and warm. 1 more on each side. Inhale for right side plank, and we're gonna hold it here, okay? So modify to make it easier by dropping the bottom knee. Make it spicier by lifting the top leg. But either way, we're gonna play here. Now I want you to drop that bottom hip close to the floor and then pick it up tall. Nice. We're gonna do it 2 more times. Drop the bottom hip. Pick it up. Keep breathing. Drop the bottom hip 1 more time. And pick it up 1 more time and hold in here. That bottom hip lifting as high as you can. Hold and breathe. You can lift the top leg too. Getting warm here, friends. 1 more big breath in. And then exhale, bring it back to a downward facing dog. Okay, inhale to that other side, that left side, side plank. Hold and breathe and hang right here. You can drop the right knee, you can lift the top leg, but either way, drop the bottom hip and then lift it high. 2 more times, drop the bottom hip, lift it high. 1 more, bottom hip down, bottom hip up, hold and breathe. You can lift the top leg too. Breathe and hold. Very nice. And your side plank, 1 more breath. And then bring it back to downward facing dog. Whew. Go ahead and walk your hands back to your feet here. Give your shoulders a break and just hang, shake it out. All right, nice yogis. We have some warm shoulders here. The legs should be a little bit warmer too, so we can get into some nice work. From here, let's roll it up. Inhale, push into your heels. Roll yourself up tall. Lift your heart. And exhale down into your chair squat. Pause here for a moment, looking up at your hands. Inhale all the way up to stand. Lift that heart. And exhale, hinge and fold all the way down. Halfway up on your inhale, look forward. And on your exhale, big fold, hug your legs. Palms are down. Inhale here and walk them forward to a plank. This time with your exhale, lower yourself all the way down. Take your time. Pull those elbows in. Inhale for cobra. Pull that heart up and open. Pull back on your hands. Lift your heart. And then exhale here. Press it up and back to downward facing dog. And walk it out here. Notice the shoulders a lot warmer, legs a lot warmer. We have more space. Okay, friends. Here goes. Let's get moving. With your inhale, let's get the right leg up in the sky. And exhale here. Send that right foot forward and drop it underneath your heart. Okay, right foot is down underneath your heart. Go ahead and drop the back heel, the left heel. Okay, you can take one hand to each of your hips here. Lift that heart first and go ahead and stand up tall for a pyramid pose, okay? So in pyramid pose, we need to make sure the hips and shoulders are lined up with the front of your space. So if it's hard to do that, you can walk the right foot out to the right a little bit and see how that helps. But no matter what, your legs are strong, pushing the floor, as always. And they're gently pulling inward toward each other. So the knees are magnetically drawn toward each other, strong legs. Okay, hands on your hips, make your spine extra long here. Take a big breath in, lift your heart up toward the ceiling. And with your exhale, just think of pushing down on the floor with your legs as you hinge at your hips. Upper body moving to be about parallel with the floor. Take a few breaths to do that. Inhale, long spine, right where you are. And exhale, push the floor with your legs, hinge at your hips, breathe. Take maybe 3 breaths to get your upper body as low as you'd like it to go. Now you don't have to go parallel with the floor. You could stay up partly. Okay, that's really up to you. You could keep your hands on your hips here, or you could challenge yourself to reach forward with 1 or 2 hands and breathe. Push the floor down. And breathe. Okay, really getting into that right leg here. You feel the right hamstring. Make sure your right knee has a soft bend in it. It's not locked. Okay, you can bend it more to make this easier and extend it more to make it harder, but never lock. All right, one more big breath in here in your pyramid pose. And we're letting it go. So bend that right knee again. Drop the hands under your shoulders and pop up the left heel. And we'll come up to a 3-leg dog. So inhale here, right leg in the sky. And exhale, right foot down next to the left. Let's do the other side. Inhale, left leg up in the sky. And exhale, left foot forward. Go ahead and drop the left foot under your heart. Drop the back heel. Okay, hands to your hips. Bring that heart up first and press up to a pyramid pose on the left. So we want a little bit of a shorter stance for a pyramid pose, but feel free to adjust it. Okay, hips and shoulders face forward. Strong legs push down and the knees pull inward toward each other. So make sure those legs are active. And then we're using your breath here. So with your inhale, think of long spine lifting up. With your exhale, think of pushing the floor with your legs, folding that upper body. And take your time. There's no rush. Inhaling, long spine. Exhale, push the floor with your legs. Remember to keep a softness in the left knee. It's never locked. Again, inhale, long spine. And exhale, let that upper body fold. Breathe here. So maybe you keep just your upper body parallel with the floor. Maybe you're a little bit up rather than parallel with the floor. Either way is great. You can reach your hands forward for more challenge. Maybe just one hand. Breathe wherever you are. Strong legs. Keep the legs active. Sometimes it's tempting to let your legs get a little bit lazy here, but keep them active. All right, nice work warming here in pyramid pose. One more big breath. And let it go. Bend that left knee again. Drop the hands under your shoulders. Pop up that right heel And we'll come up to a 3-leg dog on the left. Inhaling that left leg up in the sky. And exhale, drop the left foot down. Back in downward facing dog. Take a moment to walk out your down dog. Notice how you feel. Notice the legs, they should be a little more spacious. Okay, let's add on to that a little bit. Let's play with that. With your inhale, let's get the right leg up in the sky again. Exhale, right foot forward. Drop it under your heart. Drop that left heel. Grab onto your hips. Again, inhale all the way up to your pyramid pose. Exhale here. This time, press into the floor with your legs, hinging at your hips. Come all the way down so you can put your fingers on the floor by your right foot. If you need to bend your right knee to do this, that's okay. That's not a problem. Go ahead and do that. Okay, as you're ready, drop your head and lift that left leg up in the air. Hold and breathe. And breathe and hold here in your standing split. So your hands are near your right foot. You can walk them further forward if you need a little bit more support, but do your best to challenge yourself to keep your hands near your right foot. Let that head hang. And remember to bend the right knee a lot if you need to, but keep that left leg nice and strong. Keep breathing here. So it's tempting to think, oh, I need to lift my left leg as high as possible. You don't. It doesn't matter how high you lift it. Keep the hips level. So keep the left hip tucked under, level with the right. And breathe. Let your head hang. Let the right leg get really nice and warm. If you want a little bit of a challenge here, take one hand to your right ankle. Maybe you come up on the fingers of the other hand, maybe just one fingertip of the other hand. And then maybe you have two hands on the right ankle. It's really up to you. Maybe one more big breath here in this powerful standing posture, standing split. And then as you're ready, drop your hands under your shoulders. Drop the left toes to the floor behind you. You're back in a lunge. Let's come up to 3-leg dog. Inhaling here, right leg up in the sky, send it high. And exhale, right foot down, downward facing dog. Okay, take a moment or two just to shake it out here. Notice the difference between right and left side of the legs here. Okay, hopefully the right hamstrings, the back of the right leg feels nice and open. And we'll go ahead and even it out and do the left here. So inhaling, left leg up in the sky. Left foot forward, drop it underneath your heart. Drop that right heel. Okay, hands to your hips, heart up. Press it up to a pyramid pose. Big breath in. Lift that heart. And as you exhale, hinging at your hips, fold yourself so that your fingers come down by your left foot. Can you bend the left knee? Yes, you can. Okay. Inhaling here, drop your head and lift that right leg up in the sky and hold and breathe here in your standing split. It does not matter how high your right foot goes, no problem. Just keep it long and strong in the leg. Tuck that right hip under and bend the left knee if you need a break. And breathe. Now remember, we don't want to lock the left leg no matter what. No matter what, we have a softness in the knee. Keep your hands close to your left foot if you can. Move them out if you need to. Breathe. Sometimes I notice people trying to look up and keep your head up here. Don't worry about that. Just let your head hang. It's good for you. If you want challenge, you can take one hand to your left ankle, maybe two. Sometimes just one fingertip on the floor is all you need. Okay, so play with that. Play with balance. And notice what's going on in your left leg. Okay, your left leg is struggling for balance here. All the little muscles are working, the stabilizers, and that's what we want. That's going to give us a lot of extra space opening up all around your leg. Relax where you can. One more big breath here in your standing split. All right, drop your palms back underneath your shoulders. Bend that left knee and drop those right toes to the floor. Behind you, you're back in your lunge. Let's come up to three-leg dog. Inhaling here, left leg in the sky. And exhale, left foot down, downward facing dog. Take a moment here. Walk your legs out. Notice how this down dog feels. Okay, big spaciousness in the backs of the legs. Okay, let's add one more thing onto this little funky flow. On the right now, just adding on to what we have. Inhaling here, right leg up in the sky. Exhale, right foot forward, drop the foot under your heart. Left heel down. Hands on hips, heart up as you inhale to your pyramid pose. Okay, exhale, hold a hinge at your hips, folding forward. Drop your fingers on either side of your right foot. You can bend the right knee. Inhale, lifting that left leg to your standing split. Just one moment here, lifting that leg nice and high. Maybe tuck your forehead towards your right knee. And exhale to drop those left toes back to the floor. Go ahead and drop the left knee. Find yourself in a nice little low lunge. Okay, so up on your fingertips, maybe just take a moment to settle into your lunge and give the floor some push with your legs, just a little push. And you can use that right knee to press up into Anjaneyasana. Go ahead and get your arms up overhead. You can interlace your fingers and flip your palms up if you like. And breathe. All right, in your low lunge, you can always come down if you need a break. You can use the right knee for a prop, or you can start to lift your heart if you're feeling good about opening up your heart today. Breathe. Push the floor gently with your legs. Pull the knees gently toward each other. Notice when we spend time in these postures, they tend to open up and teach us things. Take up a lot of space in your low lunge. Maybe one more breath, just being here in this posture. And then let it go. Drop your hands down underneath your shoulders and let's kind of sink into the posture, sink a little lower into it. So you could keep your hands under your shoulders here. If that's quite enough, just stay like that. You don't have to move any deeper. If you want to move a little deeper, you can start to bend your elbows and point them back. And then at that point, you might decide you want to bring one elbow to the floor, maybe two. Okay, but you don't have to force that to happen. Think of drawing that right knee inward towards your body. See if you could put it on your right shoulder. And keep breathing as you drop your head. Nice breath into your back body. All right, notice the neck stays long here and the legs stay active. One more big breath here in your low lunge, your lizard lunge. As you're ready, press yourself up and out, hands under shoulders. Tuck the back toes and lift that back knee. And we'll come out to a three-legged dog. So inhaling here, right leg up in the sky. And exhale here, right foot down, downward facing dog. Walk it out. Okay, notice the difference between side to side, left and right, front and back. And let's do the other side. Inhaling, left leg up in the air. Exhale, left foot forward and drop it under your heart. Drop that right heel. Hands on your hips. Inhale all the way up, pyramid pose. Hinging at your hips on the exhale, fold forward. You can bend that left knee. Okay. Fingers drop next to your left foot. Inhale to drop your head and lift that right leg up in the air, standing split. For this one, see if you can get your forehead real close to your left knee. And exhale here, dropping the right toes behind you, dropping that right knee. Come into your low lunge, but take some time here. Just stay on your fingertips. Put your right knee where you want it. Take some time to get settled. Okay, activating your legs against the floor just enough. And activating those knees inward, just enough. And then you can use the left knee to press up if you want to come up into the low lunge. Arms overhead here, and breathe. Okay, if you interlace your fingers, do them the way you didn't do last time, the one that feels kind of weird. Flip your palms up and lift that heart. Close your eyes here, lose track of time. And just be. All right, maybe one or two more big breaths here in your low lunge. Keep the legs active, keep the belly in, keep the heart up. Just getting the legs nice and warm before we drop down toward the floor. As you're ready, release your hands back to the floor, inside that left foot, and set up to drop down into your very low lunge. We could call it a lizard lunge. So you could stay on your hands, and that's fine. Stay right here if it's most comfortable. If you want to move a little deeper, bend those elbows and point them back. Maybe one elbow comes down, maybe two. Okay, squeeze that left knee in towards your left shoulder. Keep it close to your body and breathe. Go ahead and drop your head, but keep your neck nice and long. Okay, look at your hips here. Sometimes it's tempting to let that right hip fall toward the floor, but we want to keep the right hip level with the left. So level off your hips. Keep an eye on them. Maybe one more big breath here in your lizard lunge. Okay, start to come out slowly. Make your way back up on your hands if you came to your elbows. And then tuck the right toes, hover the right knee. And we can come up to a three-legged dog from here. So inhale that left leg up in the sky. And exhale, left foot down, back down in downward facing dog. Take a moment here, walk your heels out, push the floor with your hands, push the floor with your feet, pull the elbows inward, and enjoy your last down dog of this practice. Notice how different it feels from the first one we did. All right, and then as you're ready, just come down to your knees. Let's let your knees come to the floor. And sit your hips out to one side and have a seat. You can shake your legs out in front of you. All right, we really got into your hamstrings today, your hips. We released the low back. We did some good work in the lower body. So let's make sure we allow the upper body to open up a little bit too. Go ahead and bend your knees just enough so you can put your feet down. And then sit on your fingertips, just your fingertips with your palms on the floor. And then from there, you can drop to your elbows. And then double check to make sure your elbows are underneath your shoulders. Okay, from here, start to push down into your elbows. So almost immediately, you'll feel the fronts of your shoulders lengthen and open. And so make sure it feels okay. Feel free to back off if it doesn't. So push down into the elbows. Push, 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 push the floor. Okay, think of lifting the center of your chest up toward the ceiling. And maybe this is quite enough. This is a nice little lift in your heart. If you want a little more, you're going to keep the elbow pushed down. You'll keep the heart lift up. And with a really nice tuck of your chin into your neck, okay, tuck that chin. You could think of dropping your head to point behind you. And breathe. So keep the chin tucked. You should still be able to breathe and talk here. If you can't breathe and talk, back it up and start over. Allow the front of the shoulders to let go. Push that floor down, lift the heart up. Maybe one more big breath here in your fish pose. Okay, if you dropped your head, pull your chin back up and in. Then you can move your elbows out to the sides and come all the way down to your back. Come on down. All right, on the floor here, bring your right knee in. You can extend the left leg all the way out. Give the right knee a little squeeze towards your heart, just a gentle squeeze. Okay, and then take your right arm out to the right. Use just your left hand to move this right knee to the left. So we're turning this into a twist here. Breathe here. Hold and breathe. Looking to the right. Okay, right knee is over on the left. Think of lifting your heart up to the ceiling here as you breathe. Use your strong belly muscles when you exhale. Maybe one more breath here in your twist, recalibrating your spine. And we'll let it go. Bring the right leg back in and extend it. Let it go on the floor. Let's bring the left knee in now. Both hands, give it a gentle squeeze in towards your heart for just a moment or two. And then take your left arm out to the left. Right hand uses the left knee to point it all the way to the left. Sorry, all the way to the right. Left knee points to the right. Okay, you look to the left and we'll take a moment in this twist. Breathing. Think of lifting your heart upward as you breathe. Okay, this twist is cooling your body and massaging all of your back. All right, let's bring the left leg back in and let it go. Stretch your legs out, stretch your arms out, and close your eyes if they're not already closed. It's time to rest. So no longer controlling your breath here. Unharnessed, just let it run wild and natural. Let your body just breathe naturally. Your body knows what to do. Notice all your muscles, very soft, your skin, your face, everything's soft. Maybe allow a little smile to rest on your face while you just notice this moment happening. Notice everything. Your breath, your body, sounds around you. And give yourself some time just to be here. Right? Take as long as you can just to rest like this. Thanks so much for joining me for practice today, friends.